Did you guys know Min Min is fair and balanced? Because she's cute. Anyways, Smash Ultimate's Fighters Pass Volume 2 is drawing closer and closer to its end. We're still 2 characters out from the full second pass, finishing by the time this video is uploaded, but it's about 66% of the way done, with only 2 unannounced fighters left, and only 8 months at most left. That and Sakurai's given his sentiments on the development process here and there these past couple months, so I figured I'd make this little discussion video a bit on the shorter side, talking about how we're seemingly approaching the end of Smash Ultimate's DLC. Now, as far as Pass 2 specifically, in my own personal opinion, I think it's relatively strong. As far as first parties, on one hand, it's them essentially playing catch-up, hence ARMS' Min Min and Xenoblade 2's Pyra and Mithra, but both packs make a ton of sense towards their inclusions into Smash. Both offer either unique, entertaining playstyles or both, depending on who you talk to, says the Min Min main first and foremost, and their timing is reasonable as well. And then you have Sephiroth and Steve, who I think most can agree between both characters were banger inclusions for the aforementioned reasons to the first parties, especially to Steve, but also because they appeal to a much broader audience and make a vastly more popular series and games. They all have palpable appeal, whether characteristically or mechanically, and they all bring forth various kinds of value to Smash. As far as the last 2 characters, I can only make 2 guesses as to who they may be, though the last character I'm tossing between 2 distinct possibilities I'll touch upon another time. Either way, I have faith Fighters Pass Volume 2 will end up being satisfactory and entertaining the rest of the way through, at the very least like it has been in my opinion. And even with that, I'm 100% aware this is kind of a meme in its own way, but the characters and sheer roster Ultimate has, man, like, this game is unbelievable. Putting aside it's an overused cliche Smash fans used to bring up every time we got a new character, especially third party, we have like so many bomb-ass characters in here. King K. Rool, Ridley, Joker, Banjo-Kazooie, Terry, Sephiroth, and Cloud, every veteran in Smash history, Pac-Man, Snake, Pokemon Trainer, Mewtwo, Palutena. Like, this game is utterly beautiful with how many characters it has and what kind of characters are in this game in so many different ways. Like, imagine if you took a snapshot of the Victory Select screen with Steve, Banjo, Pac-Man, Mario, Snake, Sonic, Mega Man, and you showed it to Abraham Lincoln before his assassination in 1865. Dead meme, I'm aware. That's my shitty attempt at a joke, I get it. Still went for it. But even if the last 2 characters sucked insanely hard, what we have now is already super insane. And it is a miracle a game like this even exists. You're welcome to disagree with any of what I'm saying. You don't have to agree with what I'm saying, nor am I trying to force gratefulness out of people who are buying a product they're not obligated to buy, but it can't be understated how massive and beautiful Ultimate is as a video game, a crossover, a celebration of gaming, etc., and who knows what direction Smash Bros. Will take when Ultimate's all said and done. There are already tons of reason to believe that end is rapidly approaching. At least twice so far this year, Sakurai has reinstated there aren't any plans to keep making DLC after this pass. The most recent interview a few weeks ago, very roughly translated in English from Japanese, clarifies Sakurai specified in a Famitsu column such. Again, extremely rough translation, but this example does essentially boil down to that alongside other excerpts of Sakurai back in February and March. And once again, I have faith the last 2 characters will be good additions, and the game itself, as is astronomical and insanely ambitious already, so this being it would still leave me largely satisfied. It's also strange to think this is it too, you know? Like, way back in Smash 4, the hype up until release lasted so long, 2 years for that game and a little over another year with its DLC. But Smash 4 hype was such a slow drip feed of news and information until the game came out that it felt momentous and everlasting, even if it was a Wii U title. Technically, even by Smash 4's end, the Smash hype train didn't even end. Sakurai immediately went on to make another Smash game, i.e. Ultimate. We just didn't hear about it for another 2 years later for obvious reasons, and the hype for that game only lasted several months pre-release. Now the hype is essentially as long as Smash 4's hype when you account the DLC, and we've been getting these DLC characters for almost 2 straight years now. For Sakurai, I can easily imagine how much more fulfilling it is to eventually be done with all of this, let alone he already has expressed fulfillment and gratitude with Ultimate since launch. He's been working on Smash for almost a decade at this point, since Kid Icarus Uprising finished production late 2011. We all knew he's crazy, but holy shit, Sakurai's crazy. In a good and admirable way. It definitely goes without saying, Sakurai does deserve all the rest and love in the world, having worked on Smash for such a long time, with little relieving time in between, and with underlying health problems. Not even as a sign of gratefulness from his fans, he just deserves for being a hardworking perfectionist. You can tell he's the type given other games he's worked on, not even just Smash. Meanwhile, for Smash fans, it'll basically feel like a part of the long-ass journey ended, whether these are fans of Ultimate specifically, or Smash fans that predate Smash 4. It is bittersweet in a way, because of how cool Smash Bros. Is, and how long we've been getting characters and Smash content. But I personally can't say it hasn't been enthralling or worth the excitement. It totally was. We're talking one of Nintendo's flagship series, and who knows when another Smash Bros. Of any kind or more content will ever come again when it's all said and done. Not to mention character balancing and small updates either, assuming that'll end as well. Smash is fun, man, and one could argue a large portion of its hype strictly comes from the character announcements, so to think that's going to end soon definitely is going to feel bittersweet. It may also raise some expectations for the last two characters, but regardless, all good things eventually must come to an end. And it has been one hell of a ride. But you're going to hate me for that one. Oh, of course, he says a thing and then it's all but you ever have that small, little thing in the back of your mind? Whether a tiny shred of doubt, a small bit of paranoia, pondering the what-ifs, or other possibilities or scenarios that can subject to change. The more I look at these interviews, the more I'm convinced with what he's saying is the truth. But there's this little tiny thought in the back of my mind telling me, what if they just kept going? Now, that's not my expectations towards the end of the year regarding Smash, nor is it me saying, don't think this is it, we're definitely gonna get more. It's not. It's just a part of me thinking they're still open to the idea of making more DLC. Plans, specifically, is what has me thinking this. Him specifying they have no plans for more DLC at the moment. They did this sort of thing back in Smash 4 too, way back when Mewtwo was going to be added as a DLC add-on. In spite of Mewtwo being added to the game, Sakurai described Mewtwo as an experiment and not a trend, stating they had no plans and weren't working on anything at that moment. Give it a couple more months, Smash 4 had more DLC. Less concrete ideas go. The idea of people thought Brawl and Smash 4 were the last Smash games for a while. The prospect people thought Ultimate's first Fighter's Pass was all the DLC it would get. I have no clue if that was ever confirmed to be the original plan, but plenty originally believed Fighter's Pass 1 was it, and now we're more than halfway done with Fighter's Pass 2. The wording involved as well suggests it is at least possible things can change. Plans do change as well, and we still have 8 months left of this DLC pass. That still leaves a hefty amount of room for plans to change, especially when Volume 2 was confirmed before it even finished. Don't get your hopes up. They can still easily just stop whenever they want, I'm sure, but it's never a guarantee, is what I'm saying. There's also the question of how the decision process behind DLC is made as well. Not necessarily who gets added. We already know Nintendo's been making the character choices and recommendations to Sakurai with all the DLC thus far, but especially whether they want to add more characters. One may have looked back at either Smash 4 or Ultimate with the DLC and asked, did Sakurai want to add more characters himself to the game, or did Nintendo approach him asking for more characters? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if this was touched upon or mentioned at any point for either game. The most we know is that Nintendo chose the DLC characters specifically for Ultimate, at least. But to my knowledge anyways, we don't necessarily know who was the vehicle for Smash to get DLC, whether of Sakurai's volition or of Nintendo's higher-ups. Of course, Sakurai has the right to refuse or say no as he chooses. He's been Smash's director this entire time, and who Nintendo usually approaches regarding it, but that man is a persistent perfectionist that stresses over many small, minute details most people tend to gloss over even beyond Smash. The man suffered physical health problems that hindered his work efficiency and health numerous times throughout his recent life. He's mentioned about it during Smash 4, and he just constantly works a lot on the games he directs and projects he's working on. People tend to bring up how much Sakurai deserves a break, which is true, because of his perfectionist tendencies even beyond Smash and his health problems, but Sakurai seems like the kind of guy that likes to push himself in those circumstances, despite his physical injuries. Despite how every now and then he'll joke about wanting a break, he just keeps pushing himself and keeps coming back to the games and series causing him said pain and stress, because it's still something he loves to do. He's completely revamped a dead IP Nintendo had in 2012, and gave it so many little details, achievements, and more. He's developed 2 different versions of a Smash Bros. Game on 2 different systems. He's constantly been directing Smash Bros. Since the very beginning, despite how taxing the series has always been for him. He didn't have to make the DLC for Smash 4, but he kept going. He could have stopped once Ultimate's base roster was completed, but he kept going. He could have stopped the DLC after Byleth, but we're still moving. He keeps coming back to the series, and he keeps pushing Ultimate and Smash Bros. Itself more and more into an even crazier, bigger game than what it was going to be. Forget what Ultimate already set and did upon release. Obviously, I don't know the guy. Most of us haven't met him. I haven't met him. I don't know what he's like. But even with the comments he's made prior in conjunction with the way he approaches, directs, and designs a lot of the games he's behind, Sakurai seems like the kind of man that doesn't like to stay in one place and make each project bigger than the last. The kind of guy who's very passionate about the work he makes, hence why Smash has consistently been a returning point for him over and over. Yes, he does deserve all the time and love in the world. The man's a respectable ass mad lad. But sometimes it feels like Sakurai puts himself in these positions simply for his work ethic and or out of love for his work and passion. On the other side of the spectrum, we'd have to assume higher-ups at Nintendo approached Sakurai regarding Smash Bros. Satoru Iwata at least had a history of doing such before his passing. And on surface level, it makes sense. Smash Bros. Is a system seller. Alongside Mario Kart, new 2D Mario, 3D Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, etc., it flies Nintendo's consoles off the shelves, with several to dozens of millions of sales. Nintendo usually wants a new Smash Bros. Whenever they make a new system, which is what they promised once the Wii U was announced, and what they planned on before the Switch was finalized. What's particularly noteworthy is the DLC itself. Regardless of whatever controversy certain DLC characters may have, a large chunk of consumers who picked up Smash have likely bought the entire DLC passes, not just a handful of specific characters. Whether strictly from Smash or the DLC alone, Nintendo and the developers likely gained a shit ton of money from it. Business-wise, why wouldn't they want to make Smash a platform for the Switch and keep producing more content for it, especially when other games and companies do the same with plenty of success? Fortnite, Minecraft, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Street Fighter V. Nintendo wanting Smash to keep pumping out more characters would benefit them and the series significantly more than otherwise, especially at the rate they're going right now, and given we're only halfway through the Switch's lifespan right now, so there's a lot of time and room for games and content in general. It's not like Sakurai refused them yet, alongside the fact again, there are no plans for now to keep going, yet plans can subject to change, especially when given several months to do so. I'd assume it's more of a Sakurai thing than a Nintendo thing since they approach him and he can decide whether or not he wants to work on Smash. Granted, Nintendo owns the licenses to Smash and most of its characters and IPs, so they don't necessarily need Sakurai, but Sakurai has that legacy, that identity and iconography from Smash with how it's designed and created. Who knows? Either way, there's still plenty that could happen. The two characters are still unknown, we still have several months left of the pass until it's done, the possibility of them continuing still there, but I wouldn't personally count on it given what they've said and what we know. Smash Ultimate's still a pretty banger game with a bunch of characters and content that I'd still be relatively happy with how it is, and I'm sure most out there will too. There will always be those wanted characters that'll never get in regardless of how many more or whoever else they add, but Ultimate still offers so much with what it currently has, that at least for me, it's tough to put that want at the forefront above all these other emotions, when it is still well designed, relatively balanced, and filled with a bunch of awesome characters. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching. Stay super.
Yo, hey, 妹妹，嘿，我来呀！共和大哈哈呀！拉面，嘿，来面，来个面，共和再见，大哈哈，拉面，笑手面，谢谢。